Okay, there we go. Now I have some sound here. And okay, why do we not have sound from Final Fantasy 14 going? Hi, Daris. Good to see you. So glad to have you here today. Where is? Haha, there's that game audio node. There we go. Now we've got some sound from Final Fantasy 14 happening. I'm going to make sure I save that graph. And can't believe I missed wiring that particular piece there, but we got it now. We got it. All right. So sorry about Friday. Sorry that I had to cancel. It was something where I'd been setting everything up all week, and I had other headset options. I just didn't think about it at the time. And I just, my headset that I've been using for so long, I think it's just finally dying. And I should have just swapped to a different headset that I had on hand. That honestly, it's actually older. But hey Levy. The headset that I have is actually an older headset. But yeah, I don't know why my brain just didn't even think of that. Give me just a second to see why the overlay just didn't even capture anything there. Hello, overlay. We're not looking at a local file. We're looking at this site right here. Why we looking at the wrong thing here? Okay, that one's looking at the right thing. And let me double check my overlay. Should have been looking at the right thing, but oh, my overlay is just okay. I guess I will throw my overlay over there because I forgot to make it so that Final Fantasy 14 doesn't show up always on top because so the distribution that I switched to is Nobara. Oh, that's totally fine, Naris. So sorry that I missed your message there, by the way. I don't know what's going on with my chat, so I am I'm toggling back and forth between the stream tabs at the moment. But with Nobara, so I am on Nobara at the moment instead of Mint. There's a lot of differences between the two of them. Mint, it uses X11. I was using the cinnamon compositor, and whereas Nobara uses Wayland, and the particular Nobara that I am using is KDE, which Mint can also use KDE. The problem with KDE is that full screen windows always want to be on top. So apparently my chat overlay, even though I forced it to be on top, it still doesn't want to be over top of Final Fantasy 14. Which is like, well, that's kind of annoying. I need my chat to be on top. And it didn't look like, from what I could tell of the Botrix chat, for some reason, it wasn't showing me everything anyway. So I will just apologize in advance if I miss chat messages or anything like that. I promise I am not intentionally ignoring. I'm trying to juggle as best I can. What I was using on Mint before, I was using Castor Labs, and Castor Labs, I had to package it as a jar for running and use Java 11 for it. With Nobara doesn't use Java, or not Java 11, JDE 11. Nobara uses Java 25, which that I found I could makeshift a way to get JDE11. The problem is that Castor Labs is not liking Wayland. It wants to use X11, and so it's not agreeing with the Nobara system. And I was like, well, maybe I could try using a different one. I am still in the process of trying to get Social Stream Ninja to work for me. And hoping for the best with either Social Stream Ninja or Botrix or that I could somehow get Castor Labs to be okay with Wayland on Nobara, because Nobara just doesn't use X11 now. I don't know the whole history of that. I only started using Nobara this week, so yeah. But anyhow, with MSQ, that's what we're going to be working on today. Just got to 7.5 very, very recently. I'm not going to do a whole recap of Dawn Trail by any means or anything like that, but one of the last things that we saw in 7.4 is we saw we saw an Asian character, and we saw one of the bads that we were dealing with in the patch is in a different vessel at the moment. A non-human vessel. He specifically didn't want to be human. He didn't want to take up somebody else's body. So it's like, well, at least he's got that going for him. Cryle also decided to stay with us as opposed to going back to where she came from. Because she sees us as her home. She's been with the source the whole time, so she doesn't want to go away. She wants to stay with that. That's what her heart told her to do, so that's what she is doing. That is just the very, very brief, too long didn't read. And tried to be as little spoilerly as possible. But now, with all the rest of this is going to be building us up to the next expansion, Evercold. So if you don't want to be spoiled for the next expansion, if you haven't gone through this content, I highly recommend not watching today's stream. I know that sounds counterintuitive for what I'm doing today. Like I want people to watch my stream, but I'm also like, I highly respect people that don't want to be spoiled, and I don't want to be the person that spoils it for you. So if you don't want spoiled, I highly recommend just closing out a stream. Save the VOD for a time that you're okay with being spoiled or something. Just don't spoil yourself. Like, it's not worth it. I'm not worth that, you know? But anyhow, in Fate's footsteps. So Cryle has a wistful glint in her eye. She is very much looking forward to continuing forward with us and her absolutely amazing painter ways. So let's see what she has to say. And naturally, they always start all of this with, oh, you got plenty of rest, right? And it's like, well, if you're doing patch by patch and staying up with content, like, yeah, you're probably done with your break. But if you're doing all of these quests back to back to back, it's like, what the crap? What do you mean I trust that you got a good rest? Like, I've been standing here the whole time. Good. I thought we might take a moment to ponder our next steps and perhaps reflect on our recent journey. All right, what we got here? I must admit my thoughts often drift to the miscontent. Jeez. The mist continent. My thoughts often drift to the mist continent in our stay in Treno. It was heartening to see Malala prosper despite the odds, and my own flesh and blood strive in that Levin-racked landscape. Hey, Euler! Okay, good. It does look like, at the very least, I have Botrix up in another window, so it does look like it is going to pop up for me there. Hey, Lethal! Yes, do not stick around. Do not spoil yourself. I appreciate you stopping by, but do not spoil yourself. Keep it all pure for yourself. Do not feel like you gotta stick around. Thank you for stopping by, though, Lethal. Spain was eager to restore diplomatic relations, and I have no doubt that Alexandria will provide much needed support for their neighbor. I too shall do everything. I swear, like, allergies just, like, really don't like me at the moment. Okay. Let's start that sentence over again. I too shall do everything I can to aid my home away from home, my wonderful welcoming family included. Good, so she still sees them as their home away from home, but the source is her main home. Okay. So she still feels connected to them, but she feels like we're the main home. For the time being, though, I'd say we've accomplished all within our power. I suppose that just leaves a matter of preservation's research. It's yet unclear how Calyx learned the techniques he used to summon his dark primal. And I feel like that right now that is unclear to us, but what we saw at the end of 7.4 is that Calyx is working with an Ascian. Which is why, like, he is still around. He is just in the body of a stuffed animal, basically. And it's like, I feel like for us to be like, oh, how did he learn these techniques to summon a primal? It's like just because we, like, the Ascians are still out there. I don't understand why it's like we ever question it. It's just always the Ascians. Like, how else do they learn to summon primals? And there's likewise much that remains unknown about the key. Let us hope that Shell's efforts bear more fruit. Can you hear me? Shell and I have been reviewing the decrypted files and have uncovered some intriguing details. Would you care to join us? We'll be with you right away. All right, I need to take another drink because I swear allergies are just like causing my throat to be so extra dry right now. Excellent. Shell seems rather eager to speak with you all. Come with us in the... Okay, I paused there just because I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this word for a second. Future lab, when you're ready. As not a word I've seen before, so I was like, Uncanny timing indeed. Let us make for the containment complex. Yes. I mean, technically she, Kitty is a mage. Technically. She, I mean, granted, they call her sorceress, but she is black mage. And conjurer. Yes, we need to go. She has summoned us, so we need to go talk to Ishtola and Shale. See what information they've got for us here. Hopefully they've got something. Heading to the containment complex right this way. Yes, let's go into the containment complex. Okay. This is, bigger than what I'm remembering, but okay. Hello. Oh, here we are. Hi, Shale.
Ah, you're just in time for a progress report. The decryption is finally complete. As we suspected, the data represents a partial record of Preservation's research documents. A quick scan of the files, however, failed to turn up the information Y'shtola was after.
Okay. I mean, I would imagine a quick scan is probably not going to do the trick, but also depends on what you were looking for, I guess.
Indeed. No mention of the Ascians, or primal summoning techniques for that matter.
I mean, did you look directly for the word Ascian or primal summoning technique? Because I mean, kind of like how we had on the first, like, not everything's going to be called the exact same thing. So hopefully you search for different things. Yes, I like Shell too. I especially like her voice actor. I feel like she has an excellent voice. Like, she sounds fantastic. And I hope we still get to continue seeing Shell for a while. Like, I feel like she is a very strong asset when it comes to research and being able to continue that research. Like, don't get me wrong, I do feel like with a lot of the Scions, we have a lot of really strong researchers, particularly when it comes to magics and things like that, but it's still, particularly when it comes to technology and things like that, I feel like Shale is just too strong of an asset for us to be like, we're gonna be done with you. Like I feel like she still serves a purpose, and hopefully we still get to hang out with her for a while longer.
While Calyx doubtless received instruction from someone possessed of such knowledge, there was naught to identify this benevolent mentor.
Well, yeah, they're trying not to be found by us. They don't want us to find them. They want to be able to continue their shenanigans without us figuring them out. So, of course, they're going to think about, like, not being called Ascians and not called it primal summoning techniques, if those are even what they are calling them anymore. Like, or if it's just limited to certain reflections on the source. Like, they might be using different terms. Like, they're going to cover their tracks. Like, it just makes sense that they're going to try to be sneaky so that way they don't get caught.
I am, however, pleased to say that we found several reports concerning the key.
Because that, we know for sure that's what they've been calling it.
We know the key is used to open paths between worlds, and was a treasured relic of the Milala.
Well, I mean, we kind of gleaned that already.
And just as the Milala were unable to return after reaching the Mist Continent, so too was Preservation unable to gain a mastery of the prize which had passed into their possession. The data suggests that a particular formula or procedure is required.
Okay.
A process which Calyx appears to have understood to some degree. Yet the key proved fickle. Perfectly replicating conditions was no guarantee of success. And even when they did manage to generate a modest portal, the destination was never the one they expected.
Okay.
Reports practically screamed their frustration, describing the experience as being dragged around by a traveler picking roads without rhyme or reason. Serves them right, I say.
After much trial and error, Preservation began to experiment with external actuation devices for the key. Striving to maintain a stable pathway to a chosen location, they conceived of the technology that forms the gate to the Golden City.
So, their tribulations ultimately afforded them control of the key, albeit in a limited capacity.
Yeah.
Which, of course, explains why they were able to instruct Zoralja in its use, thus enabling the unprecedented feat of transferring Everkeep and its environs to the source. After the Endless Fiend took the key unto herself, she opened pathways to other reflections in her hunt for ether, did she not?
The Milala merely used it to facilitate their exodus. To think what the key has now wrought in different hands.
For all we know, the actuation device augmented the key's power beyond its intended scope. Were your goal to plunder whole worlds of their ether, a tool designed to simply transfer people would likely be insufficient.
Shale, I don't suppose you would be able to remove the actuation device?
The machine made for that very purpose is still functional, thankfully. It shouldn't be a problem.
What do you think? We don't even know how the key works. If the device is somehow interfering or amplifying its capabilities, I believe we ought to remove it.
Give me a moment.
Okay. So like we're not 100% sure what it does, so we're wary of that because we're like, well, if we're not completely sure how it works, then we need to remove the things that are going to like make it more powerful and stuff. What does Jistola see? I want to know what she say, because clearly she sees something with those blind eyes.
Ishtola?
This is the first time I've beheld the key in all its unobscured glory.
This should be telling. Especially since she has to sense everything. Since she is blind, she has to sense everything using Aether. So, like, she can't behold its actual physical format. She could just see its etheric composition, basically. So, having that information is helpful.
The sheer density is extraordinary. 'Tis akin to the structures we saw beneath the Tempest.
Now that you mention it, the ornamentation is reminiscent of Amarot.
That is true. Like, a lot of its design does seem very similar to Amarot.
Have you noticed anything since the key has been in your possession?
I'm gonna go with, particularly with how it glows there, with Azim's crystal, because we typically, for anybody who's missed that with cutscenes or anything like that, when we go into trials in particular, when we don't bring in other scions or anything like that, we summon other players using Azim's crystal, and that crystal glows really bright like that. So I feel like that's very significant because Azim was the traveler as far as the complication and with with all that, like the key being able to travel between worlds, like I think there's going to be a connection between a Zim and that key. Like it could be that that key is a relic of Azim's.
You're suggesting the key has some connection with Azim? A plausible theory, although one we are yet unequipped to prove.
Right. I mean, I feel like it's plausible. Of course we can't prove it, but...
My apologies. Hello?
Well, we got Cryle.
Yes, this is Cryle speaking.
Cryle, you go leave us in suspense here.
That was Ojika with a message for us.
Okay.
An urgent matter?
I'm not altogether sure. Tataru requires our counsel, and hoped to call upon us in person at the Baldessian Annex. Though disappointed we were not present, she appeared content to wait until our travels brought us back to Sharlayan, insisting that it did not merit our immediate summons. Her tone suggested otherwise, however, and Ojika felt compelled to contact us directly.
All right.
Mayhap the time has come for another journey across the salt.
Aw, she'll look
You'd
so
best go.
sad.
Though I'll not deny that I'll be sad to see you leave.
Shale, like, we could tell. Like, I could just tell with how they animated her face there. It was so obvious that she's sad. Like, I'm sorry, Shale. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, Shale. I can't even begin to thank you for all you've done. We will be forever indebted to you and your Oblivion colleagues.
The debt is ours. We'll never forget the sacrifices you've made for us. For Alexandria.
That's totally fair, Euler. Like, no one can mess with Tataru. We gotta make sure everything's good with Tataru, even though she just said that we should not take priority. But we gotta make sure Tataru's
I shall
okay.
keep sifting through the data. You'll hear as soon as I find anything of note.
I wonder if Tataru is figured out. Oh. Okay. I'm not going to progress the MSQ here for a minute because it did go to an ad break for some viewers. So, but I am wondering. I'm like, I still always hope for Tataru's missing carbuncle to keep making more and more appearances. I'm like, I love that it made its appearance in Endwalker, but I'm like, I still want it to keep appearing. And I want everyone to have to deal with Tataru's absolutely wonderful and amazing power, because it's like they made it so clear that she has to be this powerful summoner because that carbuncle got away from her. So I'm like, you know, we need to be able to see Battle Tataru, and I'm always going to be hopeful for that. You know, like I know they showed her trying and quote unquote failing, but they've already alluded to the fact that she's actually really powerful with the fact that that carbuncle ran away from her. So with us going to see Tataru, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful we're going to see her become strong, and not become strong, actually realize her strength and show us how strong she is. So, sorry, Shale, we gotta go. You kick-ass
Actually,
researcher.
I should like to stay here a little longer, if you don't mind.
I think that's a good call, Y'shtola, especially since you could see so much extra with that key. And contribute so much extra to all of that etheric and magical research. Like, I think that's a good idea.
You are most welcome.
Like, I don't think you necessarily need to come with us. I don't think we need the entire crew. We already had some go ahead with the last patch, so we may as well just have some of the party go.
And might I borrow the key for a while? I wish to study it further. With the utmost care, I assure you.
Don't lie, Y'shtola. You want to figure out how you could go to
Well
the
then,
first.
Shall we be off? Ojika will be expecting us.
You want to go see Runar again. Because you promised him that you would find a way. You would find a way. So you're trying to find that way, Y'shtola. Don't lie. Especially now that you have, like, you found your key. You found it. You can make it there. But I also feel like I need her researching it, so, you know, like, it makes sense for it to stay there. Trail to the heavens. All right. So now we need to go back to the Baldessian Annex, back to Charlian. I love Charlian. Like, there's a whole reason that my free company is based upon Charlian stuff. Like, I wasn't the one that suggested it by any means. It was actually suggested by one of my moderators, but like, as soon as they suggested it, I was like, yes, on board with it. I love this. Yes, we're doing it. And something I don't know if you guys have noticed. So the reason I swapped to Nobara was because of the frame drop issue. And so far, it doesn't seem like we've had any frame drops happening. So it does seem like my switch to Nobara, if not my actual switch to Nobara solving it, then something during my switch to Nobara solved it. Totally could have been, I had to change some CPU settings and all that stuff in order to get Nobara to actually install. It could have totally been that for all I know. So, but it seems like that's resolved finally. All right. She says, welcome back, and what a pleasure it is to see you too, Zyelda. Thank you for calling me specifically out and ignoring Kryl and Raha there. Like, they're actually students. Like, what? Like, why am I getting the extra special call out? Like, thank you for contacting us. We came as soon as we could. Of course, I felt it prudent to given how troubled Tataru was. Your concern is much appreciated. As it so happens, we've reached a convenient juncture in our investigation. Shale and Y'shtola have matters well in hand, leaving us free to make this trip. That's a relief to hear. Now, let me fetch Tataru for you. Why don't you take a moment to relax at the main hall? I'm sure you're all still fatigued from your journey. Of course, I'm like, yeah, I can always do with a break. I mean, I'm supposed to be on summer vacation here. And during all of this, not once did I get summer vacation. Okay. Let's get her. Let's get Tataru. We need to see her. We need to see her immediately. That is totally fair. That is totally fair, Euler. Totally fair. Love the little gobbies. They are so... In Idleshire, those gobbies are so much fun, I feel like. Dealing with all of them and their and their Gabi shenanigans.
Oh no, just reminiscing. Thinking back to when you bought this map, and how you all encouraged me to make the voyage to Tural.
Are you glad you did?
I mean, I would assume so. I mean, she was always curious about where she came from. Like, she always felt like she didn't actually belong and everything, and then come to find out, bam, she's not even from here.
As if you need ask.
Right?
Welcome back.
Aw, I love how cheerful Tataru is. Good to see you again, Tataru. It's just always so good to see her.
I'm so glad you're here.
Like, even if I didn't mean it sincerely, I would be fearful that she would have my kneecaps if I didn't say that I was glad to see her, you know? Like...
Ojika contacted us. He intimated that you were rather concerned.
Oh, I accidentally called Ojika she. Like as soon as I saw the zoomed in the zoom in of him, I was like, shoot, I'm pretty sure I said she instead of he. And after they actually called him out there, I'm like, yeah, I definitely said she instead of he. That was my bad.
Come to think of it, Alphino said he and Alize would pay you a visit upon their return. Have you not seen them?
Oh no, they were here. I was regaled with many a tale of your Turali adventures.
Okay, good. I was like, wait. If those two twerps did not stop to say hi to Tataru, I'm going to have some words with them. Like, what the crap? Absolutely not. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, especially on Alphino's part. Like, come on. You put us through the little twerp phase ringer with a Realm Reborn. Like, come on. Pay your respects to Tataru.
It was only once they departed for Garlemord that the rumors came to my attention. Rather alarmingly, void-sent sightings seem to be on the rise across the star.
Oh, great. Of course we got more void sent. Why not?
I was reluctant to bother you with mere hearsay, especially when you had more pressing matters to contend with.
There we go. Okay, I realized my sound. Sorry for anybody that listens to me through earbuds or a headset or anything. Oh! I just crashed the game somehow. What I was doing was not even related to the game there. I will get started back up momentarily. Let me switch out of... There we go. Let me get the game back up and going. I was trying to fix my sound because I noticed that my audio was only coming in one ear and not both. Because I do apologize. My model is going to be static here for a second. I realized my audio was only coming in one ear since it's a mono microphone. And I was like, ooh, that would really bother me if I was only coming in one ear. Like listening back to myself drove me nuts when I was testing everything out. So I was like, let me fix that audio, and was not expecting that to somehow crash Final Fantasy. It shouldn't have, but you know. Okay. Game is getting back loaded. Do. While I'm here, I'm gonna... Oh, no. I need my V2 capture. Why is my V2 capture like not even the full window? I was like, I look weird. My arms are chopped off. So I'm like, I'm gonna fix this while I'm sitting here waiting for the game to finish loading. Because I'm like, it looks weird to have my arms just chopped off randomly. Like it's just weird, you guys. It's weird. I don't like it. Okay. 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 Now I can rest easy as I'm loading into the game and not have arms chopped off. And then as soon as I'm loaded back into the game, I'll switch the scene back to gaming. Just a slightly congested queue. Not very bad though. There we go. Now I'm loading. So we gotta start that cutscene back over. So I am going to click through a decent amount of it so that way we can catch back up a little bit more quickly. Da, da, da. Yes, because we reminisced about having Raha getting that map. Yeah, they already talked about this. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes, yes. We want Tataru back. Give us Tataru back. There we go. There's Tataru. Yes. Good to see you again, Tataru. Yes. Yes, she talked to them. They're already back in Garlemald. Here we go. So we've got Voidsent to deal with again, which that's concerning. Like how I what I so this is oh shoot, you guys don't even have audio for the game. Hold on. Why did Final Fantasy 14 not automatically connect back to my game audio? I saved that. There we go. So, just to recap, when I didn't read it loud, I'm so sorry. I did not realize that the game audio did not come back, so you guys couldn't hear Tataru explain.
The abridged account of our time in Tiral. Now I shall leave you with the words of the late Dawn servant, Galul Jajar.
Before I continue with Alphino's stuff there, what Tataru was saying is that the Voidsent, like there are fissures that are coming up everywhere. And for most of Eorzea, the great companies have been able to handle all of it for the most part because there isn't that strong tie to the void. But Garlemald, which is home to the Reapers, the Reapers are very much tied to the Voidsent and everything. Like when they go into their burst phase, they actually become one with their Voidsent. They summon their Voidsent for a lot of damage, yeah. Well, they originate from Garlemald, which means Garlemald has a very strong tie to the void. So these fissures are really coming up here. So Alphino and Alize have reported to Tataru that things are taking a pretty bad turn up here. Which is why we've cut to Alphino here. Sorry about that sound, guys. I did not realize the audio was not coming
Ignorance
through.
begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship. A notion that rings true for Eorzeans no less than it does for the diverse peoples of Tuliolol.
Sorry, I wanted to make note for myself so I could make sure that I fix that auto connection going forward for games connecting to my game audio node and my sound graph. So that way, hopefully, we don't run into that issue in the future.
And for Garleans as well. Even sharing something as simple as a local dish can pave avenues of understanding. It's up to all of us to forge new bonds together.
So, like, one of the things that I thought about when I saw the trailer for Evercold, I was really intrigued by the fact that we see Meteor switching from Viper to Reaper. Because during Endwalker, we had seen Xenos as Reaper. Like, he was from Garlemald. That was the job that he ended up taking up and everything like that. So it wasn't the Warrior of Light that was Reaper for that expansion. They were Paladin. But for this upcoming expansion, it looks like the Warrior of Light or Meteor is Reaper. And I was like, well, why are we Reaper this time? That is interesting. And I think it is going to have something to do with the fact that we have all of these Void Scent that are coming here. Should be interesting to see how, like, if any other Garleans end up taking up the role of Reaper as well, or what else we see unfold there, but should be intriguing.
Thank you for sharing your tale. Better they hear it firsthand than endure my clumsy retelling.
I'm glad he made a
Your words
turnaround.
give me hope that we might achieve something similar here in Garlemald.
Yeah, the only reason I knew Meteor had a name was because someone on TikTok had made a video saying, oh, which version of Meteor do you think is best? And I was like, wait, what? What? That's just the Warrior of Light. That's I hadn't heard him called Meteor before that, but yeah, I guess people call him Meteor, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess we'll just do that. And I'm assuming the reason people call him Meteor is just because of the standard Final Fantasy 14 logo being a meteor, and he's the face of the game, so they probably just also call him Meteor because of that. That would just be my assumption. But yeah, I had never heard him called Meteor until I'd seen that TikTok, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's easier than saying Warrior of Light all the time. And especially when it's like Warrior of Light could be confused with your character and stuff. It's like Meteor makes it a little bit more clear that we're not talking about like our characters don't have to be a Reaper, but in the promo video and everything, he is a Reaper for that. Last expansion he was Viper. So I'm like, it's like, yes, I was also Viper, but like in Endwalker, I was like, well, I wasn't one and the same with him because I was not a Paladin. I was a ninja. And I did level Paladin all the way up, but I barely ever played it. And as far as leveling it up, I used Fates to level it, so I didn't really know what I was doing necessarily. And then in Shadowbringers, in my massive job rotation in Shadowbringers, I didn't really play Dark Knight. Like, again, it was another one of those jobs that I used some side stuff to get it leveled. I didn't really mainly play it, so I wasn't the same job as Meteor. So I'm like, as soon as I saw that people were calling him Meteor, I was like, I'm just going to use that because I think calling him Warrior of Light just gets so confusing with player characters. Whereas calling him Meteor, I'm like, I feel like that gives that nice disconnect of saying, well, he represents the Warrior of Light in the trailer videos and stuff, but he doesn't represent all of the Warriors of Light.
We all have the capacity to affect change. Our time in Tural taught us that much.
And I know there are plenty of other fun nicknames for him too that could be really fun, particularly from like parody videos, like the Final Fantasy XIV in a nutshell stuff. Like those ones, those are pretty dang good too.
And now that we've returned, it's time we rolled up our sleeves and got back to work.
They make it sound like they shouldn't be weren't working then.
I've already sent missives to the other nations, informing them of our Alexandrian friends. I also intend to notify the Garlean community officially. If both sides are amenable to the proposition, we shall gladly assist in establishing diplomatic relations with Alexandria and Tuliolol.
Thank you.
I think he's just as confused as I am right now. Like, with them being like, yeah, now that we're back, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. And like, you guys make it sound like you weren't working before. And you were.
But are you sure you've recovered from your journey? It sounded like you've hardly had time to catch your breath.
Right. Alphino doesn't know how to breathe.
Sir!
Neither does Alize, really. Oh no.
Lapis Manalis is overrun with void scent. We've sustained heavy civilian casualties.
Oh no. Yeah, because one of the other things that Tataru had said when we had no game sound was that as far as like Eorzea goes, we haven't seen very many casualties at all because the fissures are just not very large. We're not dealing with a whole ton of void scent there or anything like that. But the places that have that stronger tie to the void, such as Garlemald here, that's a different story. And it's seeming like we are dealing with a lot of casualties.
What?
Plutium Squadron reporting in. We're under attack. Void scent appeared out of nowhere and ambushed us during a routine inspection. Damn it. Is that another fissure? Oh, no, no, no! Ah!
My comrades are under attack. We have to do something.
There's no time to lose! Come on!
The Garlean community is ill-equipped to defend themselves against such a threat. Even with the aid of the twins and the Ilzabard contingent, they face daunting odds.
We shall leave for Garlemald immediately.
Thank you. I was able to contact Thancred and Urianger too. They're already on their way. With any luck, you'll be able to rendezvous with them on arrival.
For a second, I had to remind myself, I'm like, I didn't go into that scene with anything saying that I was going into combat. So I was like, oh crap, am I going to have to play one of the twins or something? Okay, I've been told Alphino and Alize have withdrawn to Tertium to request aid on the front lines. They seem to be intent on rejoining the battle once reinforcements are ready, but I shall tell them to wait until you have arrived. Oh, I have to pick a food. I guess I'll pick that one. Why? This is so completely bizarre that it's capturing my cursor while it's over top of my OBS screen. But it's not. Let me retell it to. Okay, okay. My game capture must be glitching or something because like right now, my cursor is over top of OBS. So like you could see my cursor over top of Tataru on your screens. On my screens, it's on a random part of OBS. But now my cursor is over top of Tataru, but you can't see it other than it's highlighting Tataru. That's a weird glitch. I will totally mess with that. I feel like that's totally weird. I don't necessarily hate it as much as you do, Levy. I know you absolutely hate it. I don't hate it as much as you do. Like I don't love it all the time. I was a little anxious recently. I had to play Cryo. I was a little anxious with that one because I don't have Painter level, but it wasn't horrible. You know, like that one, it guided me through a little bit better. I am going to go ahead and take a very, very short break during and roll a short commercial. Yes, I know you absolutely hate it. I'm going to do a short commercial break so that way I can make sure that pre-rolls stay off and just get a very quick breather before we continue with Raha here. So hang tight. I will be right back. Yes, I do agree. Cryo was so OP in that one. I will say the only one that I'm like, yes, absolutely yes, was playing Godfrey. Yes. That one was the best one ever. Like that was the best out of character experience. Anyway, for real, going to do a quick ad break. Keep those pre-rolls off. I will be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. So sorry for the ad break. I just wanted to make sure I rolled that really, really quick to keep those pre-rolls off. Let's continue with Graha here. And we need to head over to Garlemald. And Graha has a pensive expression. I mean, understandably, like, dealing with the Void Scent was already awful before, so... And just like that, we find ourselves faced with another emergency. Fortunately, there's yet time for us to make a difference. Let's make haste. I clicked off of it before I finished the sentence. Let's make haste to Tertium. Sure. I really need to do my mass carnival challenges for a few weeks. Get my tickets back up, but for now. Okay, it looks like I need to potentially go outside. Oh, no. There we are. Oh, hey, there's some other people doing some MSQ. And Ranjay and Bankard are already nice and bundled up. Zelda, you made it in time. All right, Alphino, what you got for us? What you got?
You picked a frosty spot for a reunion.
I mean, it's not like he had a choice.
Tataru sent word that you were coming. Full glad am I to see you all. Though I'm afraid this is no time for pleasantries.
I didn't bundle up, you guys.
Planar fissures have opened up across Garlemald, inundating the region with void scent. As far as we can ascertain, there are 2 focal points of their assault.
Okay.
The Ilzabad contingent are combating the threat in Lapis Manalis. Although they have suffered casualties, they appear to have the upper hand.
Okay, it looks like Kral and Raha also didn't bundle up, so, like... I mean, I'm probably still the most cold in this scenario, but, like, none of us over here are bundled up. Well, only Thancred and Anjay bundled up.
As well they should. The many talented Uldan thaumaturges among them should be more than capable of closing any fissures they encounter.
Which leaves the second focal point, the Clutium. Eulus and the Garlean community are attempting to mount a counterattack, but are struggling to cope with the sheer number of Voidsent. They've fallen back to the north of the Imperial Palace. Can you lend your aid in securing the area?
With your blessing, I would tend to the wounded returning from battle.
Of course, Kryl. Thank you. The quickest route from here to the front is via the train tracks. Once we arrive, we can support the Garlean forces as we make for the fissure in the munitions factory.
All right. So I'm gonna guess, especially since someone was like, I want to hang back. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, we're getting ready to have an instance here. And I know some people like to queue and not run with bots. When I'm doing it with MSQ, I like to personally, I prefer going with the bots for the most part. So because you get different dialogue based upon who you take with you. I know it goes slower, but I feel like story-wise, it's like particularly when you get your Scion buddies. Now, when it's the random NPCs, it's I don't feel like it's quite that deep. But like especially being able to take the Scions with you is really, really nice. Now you can switch the party up. So it's not gonna let, like, what in the crap are the options here? Like, it is healer stacked. Why did it have to be Kryl that said that she would stay back? So it's like, if you want to go healer, like, this is your party composition. Like, this is what you're stuck with. You don't have other options. I like to go healer or tank when I'm running with the bots because I feel like it's a little bit easier to force the larger pulls as opposed to DPS. It's a little bit harder to manage those large pulls. So I'll deal with Thancred's tanking. We'll see how many times he yells my turn. If I'd thought about this, I would have created a my turn counter. But I didn't think about that until like right now. Because we need to know how many times Thancred yells my turn nowadays. Alright. Alright, we got a whole bunch of void scent going on. Whole bunch of them. Some of them looking like they came straight out of Bleach. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Keep going. And I typically like to go, like, if I'm healing, I tend to go Sage just because I could just quickly throw a shield and easily throw... Whoops. Wrong key. Throw some off GCDs as far as my heals go. But I feel like Thancred is a little bit harder to keep up than Raha is, just because Raha will at least heal himself.
I have you now.
At least he threw a brutal shell up, I guess. But heaven forbid Raha or Alize do AoE. Heaven forbid. Like, using AoEs is just... That's the main reason why it goes so slow. The bots just don't want to use it. Do.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
I life myself. The other reason I really like using Sage for this is just because like, doing damage is also going to help keep Thancred alive here. Like, obviously I still have to do some sort of healing, but using my AoEs is still going to be really, really powerful here. Alright, fine. I'll use a global cooldown heal. Especially since I've ran out of charges. Oh my gosh, Thancred.
If I may?
Use some mitigations, Thancred.
If I may?
Whoops. Okay. Okay, so we got 2 if I mays, like, immediately back to back there from Raha.
Appreciate the help.
You're welcome, Euless. You're welcome.
We'll handle things from here. Take care of the fissure.
So it just... okay. Kind of seems like an annoying mechanic like that. I don't know. I feel like accessibility-wise, that was not... The colors were a little too hard to see. Like seeing the orange underneath of the pink. I just like, okay. Motion tracker, okay. I was like, I noticed that Alize was standing still. So I was like, but that makes more sense. It's a motion tracker. But I mean, I guess it's not that bad if you, like with that conal there, it's not too bad if you're just paying attention to the pink, which is what I was more or less doing. But if it's like you're waiting for the orange cone to come up, I'm like, oh yeah, she would have never just stopped and just stood there. If it were, like if we had the LB up, then she would have totally been wanting that. Which I mean, I guess she could have it. All right, fine. I guess I will actually use that heal on him. Whoops. I guess it's not horrible that I did that.
If I may?
How's this?
She actually did interrupt her using the limit break. Okay. That was kind of surprising. She did stop using the limit break. Now, I wonder if I was playing DPS. If I was playing DPS, would she have stopped? Because she would have known that I wanted the LB. But in that case, I mean, she was just going to take it from Raha. Like, let's get these guys here. Jump back to Thancred. Make sure I have my dot on everybody. Go ahead and give Thancred and I at least some healing over time. Okay, there we go. I was like, I don't have to Thancred on my focus target for some reason.
I have you now.
Oops, I lost my dot on everybody. Just so I could quickly get something onto Thancred without having to necessarily target him. Alize! 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 I saw you step into that. What is your problem, Alize? Like, it wasn't even like you accidentally charged. You took like 2 steps forward and stepped into it. What the crap? Like, you could have sidestepped it so much more easily than what you did. Like, damn it, Alize. Get dots on all of them. I was gonna say, hopefully the next mob isn't too terribly far away, because I don't want to be too far from Thancred. Hey, Thancred. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Guess what? I got buddies for you. Damn it. I don't have that shield up. Just hold on for 5 more seconds, Thancred, then I have my big shield up for you. Okay? Just hold on. There you go. There you go, buddy. And I threw it on myself. Apparently I didn't properly hit T to... Like, either that or that baddie was actually targeting me and not Thancred like it should have been.
I have you now.
Alright. They are being too quiet back here. Like, I was expecting a little bit more dialogue from them. All right. Oh, hello, buddy. I don't like the looks of this fella. They're up to something. Be on your guard. Okay. That's not as intriguing as what I was hoping for, but all right. Just going to assume that that's a raid-wide. Or room-wide, I should say. It is refreshing to have a dungeon that is not super, super dark like we've been having pretty much since post-Endwalker. Just gonna sure cast. So, you may have noticed that all 3 of them flew backwards. I'm going to totally eat that vomit. I used Surecast. So for casters, you can use Surecast to keep yourself from being flung backwards for quite a few abilities. And if you are a physical DPS or tank, you can use Arm's Length. But I just didn't want to deal with getting knocked back. Oh, Jesus. Gives you, like, next to no time. Okay, this one, it's on cooldown still, so... Go ahead and get that dot on us. I'll just throw a big shield out, even though I probably don't need to, but you know. Not really seeming big on the tank busters today, is he? I know they were kind of low, but did they die? Did they die? That would be a no. They did not die. They totally lived. They are all still standing right behind me. That's the important part as a healer. It's like, it's not a matter of keeping everybody to perfect and full health. It's a, did they die? No. And if they died, was it because you weren't healing, or was it because they were effing up too many mechanics? That treasure coffer was too important.
If I may?
I guess I'll go ahead because a few of us are kind of low there. There we go. Do a few AoE heals. Come on, gargoyles. That somehow these are gargoyles? They look like pipes that are, yeah, that, That is the most intriguing gargoyle I've ever seen. Like, what on earth? Like, it was like yellow strings, etheric strings that were just like connecting them. It just looked so bizarre. I mean, these look much more like Void Scent. But those gargoyles? Hello, you also look like Void Sense. How do you do? Vagrant, Vagrant! Watch out, bud! Shit, man! Let's not intentionally eat everything! Yeah, I'm like, this is, I mean, these guys, yeah, they totally look a little less Futurama, but that gargoyle, like, totally, I don't know, they did not fit Void Send to me. I'm over here pressing 3, and apparently it thought I was holding the control button. Yeah, Thacred, we ran me out of some Oompa here, so. All right, let's see. Let's see what this final baddie looks like. So maybe those gargoyles were held together by the same things that are holding together this guy's face. Like that's. Oh no, we're gonna snooze the next ad break because we are not gonna have an ad in the middle of a boss fight, and I'm not gonna stand here and wait for ads to be done.
Welcome to my domain, mortal.
Like we're gonna snooze that ad break. Yeah, I feel like I'm really glad that they talked about wanting to mix up the boss fights and stuff, because I feel like almost every time at the very beginning of the fight, the first ability of the boss, most of the time here lately, has been a room wide. It's like immediately shielded, heal as necessary. Okay, I feel like they're going to shoot out more stuff. Okay. I was not expecting it to be round. I was expecting those to be more linear. Okay. Okay, this is making more sense. This guy, like, they were puppet shrinks. That, like, right there, use some sort of puppeteer ability. Okay, okay. And he had all these scraps. Alright, alright. I'm a little bit more on board with this and understanding better. I'm understanding. It's not saying that it's a... Not saying that it's not weird for it to, like, these are void sent. Sacred, come on. You... Wait, what? Why?
You underestimate me.
So that guy and that guy is going to do conal, but these guys are going to do donuts. Or not donuts, but circles, and they're all moving. That's fantastic. Ah! I was too focused on getting a charge.
Something special for you.
Hey! Hey! Alice let Raha do the limit break, you guys! She let him have it! She didn't steal it! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, I don't even care that I'm gonna get hit by all of this! I don't even care! I don't even care! got the limit break, you guys. I don't care how much I messed up that mechanic. Like, I messed that up so bad. Because Alizé didn't limit break. Like, this is unheard of. I've never seen that. She always steals the limit break. She actually let him have it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. That's so exciting. Oh my goodness. Like, I feel like my level of distraction there is totally justified because she always steals it. Like, so someone else can do it. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. Alright, just not gonna move him around this time. That one's gonna do a cone first, and then move these, or mess with these guys, make them do circles.
My turn.
We got another room wide. Sidestep that. And all of them are gonna go off one time. We've got play buttons, so of course we want to run around. And I don't want to stand next to Thancred because he's going to get one of those. I'll throw multiple shields on him because he's just going to use a single shield to mitigate himself there instead of multiple. Apparently Thancred just thinks he's a warrior and can do that type of stuff. Okay, so those guys. Okay. That mechanic's kind of annoying in my opinion. Like, that's why I keep going like really, really quiet, because I'm like trying to focus on figuring out where's going to end up being safe. Oh man, I don't have a shield to throw out, but I mean, fortunately the tail end of whatever this one is, the Caracole, is still there, but
Time to pull the string.
that's fair, Raha. That's fair. All right, nobody used the limit break that go around because we didn't end up with an LB2. We only had LB1 by the time the battle finished, but the fact that Alize let Raha have it, the wipe time, still absolutely amazing. Like, oh, I can't even, like, I want to clap for her. Like, I'm just, like, I so proud of how much you've grown, Alize. So proud of you. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm a proud big sister right now. Like, oh my goodness. Like, that's such growth, Alize. Such growth. Such growth. Thank you for letting Raha have that. Okay. Now let's see what's going on. Who's behind all this void scent crap happening? Looks awfully happy for someone that just lost.
I think that's all of them.
We need but seal the fissure to prevent further ingress.
Well, yes, we need to seal it, but the thing is that's not going to prevent more of them from coming. We need to figure out what the hell is happening for more of them to be showing up.
It's over. I can only imagine the extent of the damage were it not for your aid. On behalf of the Garlean community, I thank you for all you've done for my people, for my home.
Now, Alize's growth is not nearly as much as Julius is here. Like, his growth is amazing.
I shall close the fissure post-haste.
I was gonna say, let's not ignore what the hell is this thing saying? What's it talking about?
If you do that, I will be trapped here.
Oh.
You risked your life in vanquishing the creature. Would you at least let me bear the burden of deciding its fate?
I want to know what. Hmm.
You want to go back to the void?
Then go.
Your kind have entered this realm before, some seeking death that they might rejoin the life stream. But you would choose that dark, deathless place?
The wind is fresh and pure, untouched by darkness. Perhaps it won't be a blessing to meet my end in such a place.
Uh-huh.
But I cannot yet bear to part with the void. If only the winds would blow there, as they do here. I long to return, to see my home unsullied, as it once was.
Huh. So there are some of the Void Sent who would like to see their home reclaimed.
We know that pain all too well. If that is your wish, you must forsake this aggression. Go back to the Void and devote yourself to its restoration.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, Zero, who hails from your home. She and her companions strive to bring light into the Void from another world blighted with imbalance. I hear their efforts have already met with some success. One day, they'll drive the darkness from the Void, I'm sure of it.
This soul is imbued with the will of all those I consumed. We shall return to our world and seek out this Zero. Then we shall see if there is truth in your words.
She won't disappoint you. That much I guarantee.
All right.
Bravo! I think Zero will approve.
Oh,
Indeed, that was truly heartening to see.
Understanding begets fellowship, right? I thought I might lead by example.
Well then, shall we head back?
Okay. I mean, I don't think that's going to be the end of that, but okay. Okay. Interesting. Reports have begun trickling in. By all accounts, the Ilsabard contingent was successful in containing the threat on their front. For Void sent to attack in such numbers, just as we were finding our feet, I daren't imagine the consequences had you not provided such timely aid. On behalf of my comrades, thank you. Thank you all. All of those materials. Okay, I'm gonna grab the tenacity one because I already have 4 tenacity, and if I grab a 5th one, then I'll be able to go to the gobbies and mash it up into a different materia. But piety, tenacity, skill speed, and spell speed are not necessarily super helpful right now on most jobs. Just because of the current 2-minute meta that we have for our rotations. Like some jobs need that skill speed or spell speed to really make it comfortable for hitting those marks, but they're not nearly as desired as determination, direct hit, and crit hit. Crit hit is probably the most sought after materia as far as combat. In general, I would say command for crafters it's way too freaking expensive. So it's like if they wanted to give me command materia, I'd be all over that. All right, something is weighing heavy on Thancred's mind here. So what do you got first, Thancred? What we got? What we got here?
The Ilsabard contingent have contained the threat on their front. Things appear to be under control for the time being.
Okay.
Though it remains unclear why the fissures opened up in the first place. According to Tataru, similar ruptures are occurring across the star.
Right, exactly. That's kind of what my concern is like, why are they Like, why are they coming up to begin with?
One
What's
thing
driving
is
this?
clear, however. The phenomenon is not without pattern. The tendency for fissures to emerge is pronounced in regions deeply connected to the void. Places where the barrier between the two worlds is at its thinnest.
Yes, and of course Raha would know the most about this.
I fear there may be a place in far greater peril than Garlemald.
Lots of
Though it
home.
hath since been sealed, you will recall there is a great void gate that we ourselves had cause to open.
Oh.
A gate which was instrumental in our bid to reunite Vritra with his sister and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
Right. Yep.
Oh gods. The moon.
Yes. We need to go to the moon.
With our attention fixed upon planar fissures, I failed to consider this vulnerability. All other paths unto the void are but pinpricks in the veil compared to that great lunar rift.
And that rift might be yawning open as we speak. We'd better hurry.
Let us make for Bestway's burrow. I dare say the Loporrits are well aware of current events.
I'm surprised he doesn't go ahead and keep in contact with the Loporrits so that way they can let him know if crap like this happens, you know? Like,
We ought to have Kryl join us once she finishes tending to the wounded. I shall likewise contact Y'shtola. Her knowledge of the moon's void gate is second to none.
which means we got trial coming up.
A number of my fellow Garleans now call Mare Lamentorum home. Alphino, Alize, please see they come to no harm.
We'll be back before you know it.
I guess having those two come
A quick word, if
puts
you
us
will.
at 8.
I'm not sure whether you'll run into Zero during the course of all this, but if you do, would you give this to her? Emergency rations, in case of a protracted battle. Can't imagine she's eating all that well in the void. She likes dumplings.
Oh, I'm gonna mute just momentarily. Sorry, my daughter is getting up, but oh my goodness. The amount of crushing that this guy's doing on Zero. Oh my goodness. So much crushing. Like, I'm surprised his face isn't beet red right now. I mean, like, oh my gosh, she likes dumplings. Trying to make sure that she... like, he already had dumplings on hand. Like, he's already had them ready to go for me to give her. Oh my goodness. I can't even right now. Cannot even. How sweet and adorable. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, we've got bunnies running everywhere.
We're doomed! Doomed, I say!
Given thy panicked state, I presume the Loporrits too are beset with void scent.
Oh, what sweet relief it is to see you all! Yes, void scent, and lots of them. They suddenly came pouring forth from the crater.
I had dearly hoped to find my worries unfounded.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
For some unknown reason, the Void Gate seems to have partially opened. Living Way dashed off to activate the brands and halt the Fiend's invasion. But she hasn't come back, and we've since lost contact.
Oh no, not Living Way. Guys, we gotta go help Living Way.
I suggest we make for the brands without delay.
Okay. Okay, let's see if we can find Living Way. Hopefully Living Way is, still living by the way. Oh, we got... Oh, hold on. Let me at least, switch to, battle job so I can try to get rid of these quickly. Alright, hello, little operate. You're okay now. My valiant savior, I was so frightened I dared not move an elm. Oh, you're looking for Living Way. I think I saw her heading southwest towards the drowning brand. She had several slaughter bots in tow, but I worry they won't be enough for all the Void sent. You'd better hurry. Okay, we need to get there. We need to get there quickly. Damn allergies. Here's Living Way. Hey, Living Way. I'm glad you're still living, by the way.
Oh, I'm saved! I dread to think what would have befallen me if you hadn't intervened.
Oh, Living Way is just so cute, adorable, and so sweet.
Oh, I was never in any real danger, of course. I knew you would realize our plight and rush to our rescue.
Of course you did.
Aetherius is likewise plagued with void scent. If only we'd prioritized further development of the void scent slaughter bots, we could have stemmed the tide ourselves. Oh, what a tremendous demonstration that would have been. Irrefutable proof that I was mankind's staunchest ally and the greatest lubberate to ever live. I can practically taste the praise.
I love Living Way. She's just too precious.
Fortunately, I was able to activate the brands. Should any more void scent emerge from the gate, they ought to be confined to the crater. Unless, of course, the void gate begins to expand of its own accord, or some gargantuan monstrosity tries to barge through. I don't foresee any major problems.
I mean, I feel like just by saying that, Living Way, I think just by saying that, you made it so that some gargantuan monstrosity is going to try and barge through. See? exactly. Be like, oh, no, we're doomed, you guys.
There you are.
I left the data in Shale's capable hands and teleported here as soon as I heard. And ere you ask, I made sure to bring the key with me.
Then the real threat yet awaits us.
Yeah, we got a trial.
There's domain beyond the Void Gate.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how he and Zero are faring.
Trippy! Oh? Aha!
By the 12.
They are tied to each other, you guys. They are tied to each other. Both the Zim crystal and this key. Behold the gift of Othos, or Ethos. Yours is a journey without end, conceived and guided by principle. Hold fast to what you must, and meet your fate without fear. Go forth, discover, unite the stars onto one. Let none bar your path. That was the whole thing that we've been against. And now we're supposed to be uniting them? And doing Ascian work?
Let them come.
Huh. I mean, I kind of wondered about that quote when we heard it during FanFest, during the teaser trailer. I was like, it's telling us to unite the worlds, but we were supposed to not be doing that. All right, and there's Zero. In her paladin form. And Golbez.
What are you doing here?
There's no time to explain. Sorry, Zero.
Trust you to state the obvious.
I mean, you're the one who asked the question.
May as well make yourself useful. The gate's sheer size appears to have made it a tempting target.
Okay.
NOW, a dread void scent risen from the benighted depths of the ocean. They kept to the confines of their domain while Zeromus endured. No longer, it would seem. And once they had discovered a path to the Red Moon, they wasted no time in making the journey.
Leave the void scent nearby to us. You take care of NOW.
Of course, I got that. I've got Zim's
Facing
crystal.
This many foes calls for a more familiar approach.
There she goes. Gets her scythe back out.
Void scent can change their form at will. Both light and darkness are mine to wield. Besides, what better to purge darkness from the void than darkness itself?
I mean, way to say basically fight fire with fire. There we go, a Zim crystal. Summon along 7 more friends to...
Dares face me, a mere mortal.
I mean, I question mortal, but you know, especially after that whole thing that we heard. But
hast thou come in search of power, renown?
No, I just want you to fuck off.
I fight to end this world without end. All who stand before me shall fall.
Alright, so I know we've hit a pretty good climax of what is happening here on stream and everything, but I do need to save this fight for stream on Tuesday. So stream on Tuesday, we're going to pick up from here with this battle, because I mean, we're already past 3 o'clock. So I definitely don't have time for being able to queue into it, do complete the fight and all that stuff. So on Tuesday, we're going to pick up from here, working on this fight with NOW, and finishing up the 7.5 MSQ that is currently released at this time. And all of this stuff with the Void Scent and what we found out for the key, and the fact that they made it so obvious at this point that it is tied to Azem's crystal. All of this is leading up to the next expansion of Evercold, and hopefully building us up to better understand exactly why they had that quote there of "Go forth, join the stars onto one," which is something that we've been against this whole time because it was causing calamity after calamity after calamity. Why now are we hearing join them onto one. Yes, maybe we'll be the Firebringer, because I mean we've been the Warrior of Light on the Source, and then we went to the first and we're the Warrior of Darkness, and now maybe we're gonna go to our next place where everything is cold and be the Firebringer for them. Who knows what we're going to see, but all of this should be tied to that. So Tuesday we will continue with that. Hopefully I will have a few things fixed up, including that Texas speech. I do apologize, as I announced in the Discord server, that it I said it likely wasn't working today. I could tell you for sure it wasn't working today. I can't remember exactly what I saw, but I was like, this for sure just isn't going to work. I will make sure I get as much possibly fixed as I can before Tuesday, so that way we can enjoy this fight and the rest of MSQ and everything else that came with 7.5 to the best of our abilities. But thank you all again so much for your patience with me. I do apologize that this move to Linux has been met with so much difficulty. As you saw though, it does look like the frame rate issue is pretty much resolved. I mean, at this point, like out of over 300,000 frames, only 108 have been lost. So that is less than 0.1%. So absolutely finally got past that issue. Now I just need to finish fixing the build on Nobara and making sure it all properly works with KDE, which is a much easier problem for solving. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Also, next Sunday I will not be streaming because it is Mother's Day. So I do have plans in real life and everything. So I will not be streaming for Mother's Day. I may stream sometime during the day on Wednesday, potentially, to help make up for that. But I've yet to decide on that. But I hope for Sunday, today, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you all on Tuesday for this trial.